Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm April May Walston and today I'm going to show you how I painted this red-eyed tree frog. So stay tuned. So to get started, of course, I painted my rock black, which I normally do. I have a design drawn on here that I decided to go a different direction. I was originally going to do a Halloween theme rock and I changed my mind and decided to do this tree frog. So I start with I believe that's going to be phthalo green and a lemon yellow and white for my leaf. And originally I was going to draw out the leaf shape. I decided to go and turn the whole rock into the leaf. So I'm using more of some random, kind of a dry brush technique. This is more impressionistic as opposed to realistic. So I don't want the focus to be on the leaf. I want the focus to be on the rock, on the tree frog. So now that I have kind of my base color laid out, I'm going to go in and add the stems. I'm using just a lighter version of the same color. I just added a little white. I may have added a little bit of yellow. And I'm doing stems like I would on a tree. They're very faint, and I don't need them very bright here. So now I'm drawing in my tree frog. I knew how I wanted my tree frog to sit. I could not find a reference photo with a tree frog that was sitting in that same position. So I kind of blended two different frogs. I found photos of tree frogs so that I knew what colors to use, but then I used another frog that was kind of the same shape, but he was definitely not a red-eyed tree frog, just to kind of get the positioning. So I think my tree frog may be a little chunkier, he got a little chubbier than what a normal tree frog is, but I'm okay with that. It's not perfect, but I still think he's cute. So I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, so now we're going to get the colors for the tree frog. And I'm using kind of a lime green and then a dark hooker's green. Or you could use a sap green, would work well. The leaf was more of a blue green, and I want the frog to be more of a yellow green. So now I'm just going in and painting in the body. This is just my base coat. As you know, I like to paint in layers. Well, you know this if you've ever watched any of my videos. If you're new, you wouldn't know that, but I do. I like to paint in layers. And then on these tree frogs, their little feet are orange, so I'm just going with a straight orange. I think it's just called orange. Oh, cadmium orange hue is what I'm using. Now I'm going in with his eyes. Again, I think I'm just using the orange for that. Now I'm doing his side in a yellow and white mixture. They've got this kind of blue and yellow design on their side. Now we're getting a little bit of black, and we're going to add some shadowing underneath his feet and body to separate him from the leaf and to create some depth. And you not only want to make sure you add the shadow underneath his body, but you also want to make sure that you separate his legs and add shadowing in the proper parts of his body. And you'll see me rub the rock with my finger. I do that when I've put too much paint on the rock. I'll dab it with my finger. Sometimes I will even blend with my finger. It's kind of hard to tell what I'm doing because I've got the rock tilted up on its side. And this is a rock. It's not really a rock. I make cement rocks. Just because, and I only do this because I think it's easier for me to illustrate what I'm doing on a little bit bigger surface. And the rocks on my property, which my property is covered in rocks, but they're not really good for painting. They have a lot of texture. I have to hunt high and low to find good rocks to paint on, and then they're usually rather small. So I paint a lot of rocks that I pass out or hide in town, but for video purposes I prefer to paint on these cement rocks. So now I'm going in with a lighter mixture of green and yellow and adding, that was the highlights. Going back over, he's got areas on his legs that are blue, so we're adding those. And then I added a little bit of quinacridone magenta to my orange to add some depth and to create a redder color, even though they're called a red-eye tree frog. In my photos that I saw, they were more orange. Now I'm going in with just straight titanium white and hitting some areas where I think the light would be reflecting off of his body to make him look wet. And now I'm going in and adding a water drop. And you do this by doing a arc of black and an arc of white and blending them into the center. You can kind of see what I'm doing there. That lower one keeps getting out of frame. Then you go through the white and add a dash. There's a ton of videos on YouTube, so I didn't really feel like I needed to do a video on how to do those. If you need me to, I certainly will. But there's some really good videos out there on how to do that. So now I'm going in and kind of extending my shadow out, kind of making it look better. A little bit more realistic. You want him to kind of pop off that, the leaf. And going in and making sure that my darks are dark and that my lights are light. That really helps in creating depth in your painting. Now adding a little eye shine and hitting the highlights one more time. And there we go. I do want to take a minute and just thank all of my new subscribers. I really appreciate your support. And if there's any painting that you would like to see me do, please leave me a note in the comment section below and I will make sure to try and do that for you. So we're just about to wrap things up here. I'm just tightening up a couple of my details. I guess I just don't want to show you that, so I'm going to do it off screen. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit like and subscribe, and please share this with your friends that you think might enjoy this video as well. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please share your smile with somebody and be kind to one another, and I will see you in the next video.